Go back. Should I start? What's going on here?
The thing that really makes this show sing is that it's completely timeless, and it's not about the 70s at all.
It's a small town, you know, the mentality is different, you know what I mean? There's nothing really exciting to do, so the only thing you can do is hang out with each other.
We just have so much fun, and we're just all really fortunate to be part of something like this.
I love it. I don't know what I'm going to do when I don't have to wake up like at 8 in the morning.
Set and act. Get all set. Get all set and action.
Hold on.
Go back.
Isn't this amazing?
Is it called Mount Hump because people come here to hump? Or people come here to hump because it's called Mount Hump? It's like the chicken or the egg.
Eric, it's only called Mount Hump because it's named after the explorer who braved the harsh elements of Wisconsin to discover Point Place. And that man's name was Sir Edmund Hump. Well, I didn't know that the show was going to be anything big when I first started because I didn't even know what it was for a show. You know, I didn't know that, you know, the majority of pilots that go out don't get picked up. I didn't know anything about ratings or whatever. I was just having a great time, and I just moved out here from Jersey, and I'm like, all right, I'm on a set, I'm in California, okay?
I had literally been cast out of a high school play. I'd done like 1 or 2 high school plays. So at the beginning, we were so fresh that we were actually stupid enough and naive enough to think that it would be a success, not knowing that the odds of television pilots making it even to air is extremely low.
I had started working since I was 4, and actually I was doing a show called Sybil for the 2 years right before this. And I'd done a bunch of other shows before that, but I had decided I wasn't really going to do any more half-hour shows. But then I heard about this show that was created by the Turners, Bonnie and Terry, who did Third Rock. You know what I mean? I was a big fan of that show.
I was in between my junior and my senior year before I got the 70s show. I got the 70s show between those 2 years of high school, and imagine having your own sitcom and coming back to, you know, to your senior year of high school. It's definitely quite remarkable, you know. But I went through a lot of problems because my drama teacher that I had back in the day actually failed me in my drama class. It was ironic. She failed me in my play production class having my own sitcom. How do you do that?
The first script we did, I was 14. So for me, it was like, look at all these cute boys. I didn't like, it was nothing.
Me
like,
being the cutest, of course.
Yeah, Danny. I was like, oh, he's so cute.
We came here for a reason. Now, should I start and you watch? Or should I start and what's going on here? What do you want to do?
Will, just step into it. Will, just step into it.
Going back to the first table read, the first rehearsal, you know, those were some of the most petrifying things that any of us had to go through, because none of us knew each other. We were testing the waters. None of us really knew how to hit a mark. And it was one of those things where you had to kind of learn all over again. But the beautiful thing about it is that we realized that very, very early, and we had each other to kind of work through it, you know. And that was the great thing about it. That if it wasn't because we had each other, you know, and grew up the way we did with each other, you know, it'd be a whole different show.
Maybe with Jackie, I was sort of impetuous and maybe a little rash.
See, that's something that Jackie ought to know. Hyde says that he was sort of infectious and he has a rash.
What? That must be so humiliating.
Fez, your wife's on your honeymoon with another guy.
Oh, no. Carlos is just like, he's kind of like a chaperone. He, Son of a bitch!
Can't take it. Watching Donna lie out, knowing she's gonna go to college and I have to stay here. She's so juicy.
I'm not really sure why the show has been successful. I'm not sure that there's one reason for it. I think the second year, I think we flew under the radar a little bit, you know, and people started to find us, and by the third year, we had a really good base of people. And I think it was like 6 or 7 million people a week. And then when we went into syndication, it just blew.
He does not weigh 42 pounds. And these two are the best of buddies. Hey, Dad, want to go fishing? Sure, son, let's hug. That's what it's like at our house.
It's a show that at its heart, is a character-driven show. It's about it's about a family and a family of friends, and I think that has a universal appeal.
The thing that really makes this show sing is that it's completely timeless, and it's not about the 70s at all. To me, it isn't until Friday night when we do the show that I actually feel like the 70s plays any part in it. Even though we're not in 76 anymore, for me that was a really pivotal time to start off in, because it was kind of this weird time for America where we were having a real identity crisis, and it really played well to Eric Foreman, because he's having a real identity crisis in this kind of tug of war between this girl next door who likes him, who's really hot, and his dad, who he wants to impress, who's really strict.
Upstairs for your nap, and Eric needs quiet, so no shenanigans.
Mom, please, I haven't shenaniganed in about 6 years. I've hooliganed, I've no good nicked, I've ne'er done well. Just yesterday I found myself rabble-rousing.
Will you shut up?
I don't even think people are fascinated with the 70s. I think it's because we don't have that many. I mean, yeah, we wear 70s clothes and our sets are 70s, but people are more, they relate with the relationships. Like, me and Eric, people tell me all the time that they know of a relationship, or they had a relationship with someone who lived next door, or the girl next door, who they were best friends, they became boyfriend, girlfriend. What's cool is the kids relate to our relationships, and people who grew up in the 70s, they like watching the clothes and everything, because they're like, oh, I had that. And then they also relate to all the parents on the show. So that's why our audience is really big.
A lot of parents and a lot of teachers and a lot of kids today, just can't relate to it when it comes to the nostalgic feeling of being so free about certain subjects, about what to wear, what to listen to, and there was so much variety of colorful things, Now you kind of narrow it down to cool and uncool, Over there it was like cool, kind of cool, really cool, super fly. Now you have so many definitions of what cool is, and it's thanks to the 70s.
Star Inside. I am Mila Kunis from That 70s Show, and you are on the set of That 70s Show. So I'll give you a little bit of a tour. Now, this is Kelso's van. Nothing very interesting in there. This is the living room, the foreman living room. And here's some fun artifacts of the foremans. You got beautiful pictures over here. Now, you move your way down here, and you will see other pictures that are not so much the foremans anymore. You got Topher Grace, who plays Eric, with his real-life father. And then you have the little mini Eric, those in the show. Then you have some random family. We don't really know who these are, but they make an appearance. This is the second floor. It doesn't really lead you anywhere, as you can tell. Then you have a den that's very, very rarely used with nuts, because that's what you do in dens, you eat nuts. Then you have the dining room. And what happens a lot of times is this fourth wall comes out and they shoot in like this. But when they do a 360 in the dining room, this is where it happens. Essentially, when you see people walk in this closet right here, which is a closet, it's actually the stairs to the downstairs basement where we all hang out. Now we're in the kitchen. This will be like cribs. I will show you the refrigerator. We have food, would you imagine, and the fridge actually works. Now, I don't recommend you eating anything out of this fridge, but it works. We also have cheese grater lights, which many people like to point out. It doesn't happen very often. And let me show you something that Deborah Jo will kill me for revealing this. Deborah Jo rules this kitchen. Everything that's placed in this kitchen has been placed where she'd said to be placed. Now, when she gets a little lonely in the kitchen and reminds herself of a good time, she does this.
I am George Foreman, and this is my lean, mean, fat-reducing grilling machine.
Then we make our way down from the kitchen to the driveway where you have a bunch of Red's tools and a car. This will be Kelso's new car. You will see an episode that's forthcoming why he has to have a new car, and this will be his new car. Now you have the basement. Now, the basement, you have a TV that we usually watch. Now, come on this side. You can see this TV. Can't really see much. We have these magazines that have been on this table for 6 years. Now, they've changed slowly, but overall, they're the same exact magazines. Essentially, what you could do is you walk up these stairs, then you walk up another flight of stairs, and you end up down here. And you have what's supposed to be a bathroom. It's kind of cluttered. And then this would be Steven's bedroom. Now, when you walk in, here's what you'd see. Not really Steven's bedroom. That's coming up next. In a future episode, I redo Steven's bedroom. And so this is what the bedroom would look like in the future, had I redone it. But this is, you know, essentially his room. And I think that's it. So now I'm gonna go lay down in my new and equipped Steven's bedroom. And you guys are off back to Canada. Peace out.
So it turns out that going away sex is even hotter than makeup sex. It's like these chips. They say now, even crunchier, and you're thinking, oh man, there is no way. But then you take a bite, and it is crunchier.
Wisconsin was picked by our creators because it's kind of every town USA. It's the middle of the country. We're not close to any major cities, so there's no hipster vibe going on. There's no metropolis, anything. It's just literally
the 70s.
A basement.
Yeah.
It's a town. It's a small town. We hang out at the water tower. We hang out at the diner. You know what I mean? There's no like action going on.
In places there's not many things going on, you have to use your imagination to, you know, entertain yourselves, and that's fun to watch, whether it's us in the basement or, you know, just hanging out, cracking jokes and stuff. We have nothing else to do. So the relationships are way more intimate and there's more of a dynamic there.
There's kind of a suburban influence on this show and kind of what it is to grow up when you're kind of equidistant from every city. That's the whole point of Point Place, is that it's not close to anywhere, so they have to figure out how to have fun doing nothing.
It's a small town, you know, the mentality is different, you know what I mean? There's nothing really exciting to do, so the only thing you can do is hang out with each other. So what you're gonna have is the opportunity to really listen to the characters instead of seeing them do things.
The more I think about leaving you, the sadder I get. And then the sadder I get, the more I want to be with you. Right now.
Now? Well, yeah, I mean, I get...
Our wardrobe people are awesome. They actually won an Emmy because of the wardrobe, which is pretty dope, which is why we can't really fight them if we don't like anything. They're like, look, we won an Emmy.
I never complained once about outfits, about wardrobe or anything like that, because my character, it's that one character can get away with literally wearing anything.
I have it pretty easy because I usually wear jeans and a t-shirt, you know what I mean, because I'm the tomboy. I feel really bad for Jackie because she used to wear all the little tight polyester stuff that's so itchy.
I love the wardrobe people. I adore, and I think that they do a fabulous job of putting outfits together. It's not their fault that these outfits are so hideous. It's just not. And they're literally from the 70s. They're 30 years old, from like old basements of somebody's house. They come in, they clean it up, and I'm forced to wear it. And
yeah, but you look really hot in it.
Well, thanks, Danny.
Yeah.
I don't feel very hot in it, I have to say. Like, the waistband, I don't know if you could see this, is literally up to my, like, 1/3 rib. And, like, you know, it's polyester. It's tight. It's not flattering, in my opinion.
I will tell you, it does get annoying sometimes. At the beginning of the year, we'll have these costume fittings, and I will be really chafed. I mean, it's like a lot of polyester, you know, and you're throwing on shirt after shirt. For me personally, style is not very important.
My style isn't that important to me, you know what I mean? But I try, you know, when I have to rise to the occasion, I try to. Everyone makes fun of me because, like, you know, Ashton and Wilmer and Danny, like, on Friday nights, they wear, like, suits to work, and they have all their bling now, and they're all, like, you know. And I walk in wearing, like, the same stuff I've been wearing for, like, 5 years, and they're like, Laura, you gotta go shopping.
Not the one you're angry with.
Disgusting. You know, Jackie, Some people actually find me to be of normal height.
Sure, if they're green and jolly.
This whole thing with Hyde and Jackie's stupid. I mean, they both want to be together, and they wouldn't a second if they just thought the other one had said, I'm sorry. Eureka, face! Eureka!
I think our funniest shows are when it's just us, like the kids and the parents, because our audience relates to that, and they think, like, they love seeing us in the basement, in the foreman house, you know, the kids doing their thing, the parents doing their stuff. People love that.
My favorite scenes are when the group is all together, and especially the episodes where you get like 11 people in one scene. You know, Donna's dad, and you know, Tommy Chong, and you know, you're firing on all cylinders. You know?
My favorite scenes are when the 6 kids are together. You know, when we're all in the basement, you know, and when we're all in a boat trip, or when we're all in a road trip, and we're all in camping, you know. Those are my favorite scenes because our chemistry, it's so much fun to explore.
My favorite scenes are the ones where I'm just with one other person, always. If it's just me and her, me and
Well, it's just
Foreman,
me and him.
Kelso.
That's his favorite.
But yeah, I mean, doing scenes with her is awesome because you can do a lot more. And, you know, the audience, I understand, would love watching all of us because they get everybody in one shot. But, you know, pretty much those scenes are just one-liners coming from every direction, which is great. It's really fun. It rolls. But, like, with acting, you know, when you get to do a one-on-one scene, it's a lot easier to get more real stuff out of it.
Steven, I'm here to tell you I've made my decision. I choose you. Wow.
Yeah, I'm a good kisser. Third to fourth season is when it became
different.
Strange being in public, you know, going to grab a coffee, where before it didn't matter, and now all of a sudden everybody's like, so you're like, what do I have, a zit on my face? What the hell's going on?
Something in my teeth.
Actually, when we hit 100 episodes, then I think I finally realized, like, oh my God, there's gonna be like reruns of us on forever.
We just worked so hard, you know, to get the show to where it is today, and now all of us in this cast, you know, are in a position where we can say that we did this.
Our shows back then were great because I think the whole new, fresh thing of us just starting out, we were all really nervous, as an element to it that's really fun. And now we're just all, you know, very professional, and we've grown into ourselves, and now we have that whole new aspect of it, which makes it even better.
I get recognized a little bit more. It's hard for me because, well, not hard for me, it's actually kind of lovely because I can go to the grocery store in a ponytail and sweatpants, but without the wig, people aren't really sure. But as soon as I talk, then, oh my God, are you Kitty Foreman?
My heart.
Dad.
I just thought I'd break the tension. That's gonna come in handy.
Okay, no more fake heart attacks. Next time you clutch your chest, you better see a bright light and some dead relatives.
I think we have like an amazing group here. We don't lose anyone. We got the same writers, the same crew, the same cast, you know. We have a really good, cohesive group, and everybody's really proud of what they do.
Togo.
Poor Kelso's van. I mean, when it landed, it didn't so much crash as completely separate into its basic elements and just return to nature.
It was so sad. Its last word was meep. None of us are really high school age anymore, but it doesn't even matter because we never shoot in the high school, so it doesn't matter. But we just call ourselves the kids, you know? Everyone's completely grown. If you look at shows from, you know, the first year, we're almost like, oh God, what were we thinking? You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's bad.
We worked really hard at the beginning. We work very hard now, but we worked really hard at the beginning, and it was a period in my life that I don't want to repeat, you know? You got to kind of push through that wall and just, you know, make it successful. And so, in a way, I feel like we earned it being on a show and starting off with almost no experience. And, you know, being able to go 6 or 7 years, it's like a great graduate school in acting.
Which is, remember when I said that he could get decorate? Remember when I said that he could decorate his room with Reggie's shoes?
That's right, that's perfect. This is perfect.
Our director, David Traynor, who's in my definition one of the most incredible directors in this industry, you know, he's the captain of a ship that, you know, has a crew that's willing to work with him, you know, and he's also willing to let the crew do their own personal jobs, you know, and giving us that freedom was definitely really key when it comes to you know, creating your own persona.
It's got good writing, you know. That's really what it's all about. The show's good. It's funny and it's got good people.
I can only give the writers, you know, a lot of credit because they really give me some of the funniest things I've ever read. They really letting me do what I really wanted to do with this character, and they're letting me just run with it when it comes to creating the accent, when it comes to creating his mannerisms, when it comes to creating, you know, his way of delivering anything.
Welcome home, Dad. You got a lot of nerve. Showing your face around here after what you did to my daughter.
Hey, I did you a favor. That girl's been passed around this town.
It's tough to get a cast of, I guess, 8. You know, it'll vary from 8 to 12 people, but basically a core cast of 8 people. Yeah, it's a huge ensemble, and to get, you know, everyone on the same page and all be speaking the same language it's a challenge.
Everyone knows each other so well, obviously. And we know everyone's timing, and it's just like a really well-oiled machine. It's just awesome. And you know, the writers now, if a joke doesn't work, they know, like, okay, that's out. And it just makes the process a lot smoother. Where in the beginning, we were all like freaked out all the time. Especially me, I'm like, a run-through? What's a run-through?
When we're not in scenes with each other, we kind of miss each other. Like, Laura will come up to me and like, yesterday we were shooting, we missed you, or whatever, you know. And it's hilarious, you know, but we really learned to work with each other so much that we kind of miss each other when we're not in those scenes. But finally, when we get those scenes, it's like an explosion because everyone's cracking up, everyone's messing around between takes, and I'm the biggest clown.
We just have so much fun, and we're just all really fortunate to be part of something like this because there's so many shows that don't even see the light of day. And we're all really lucky.
This show is not work. And it's literally, it's not, I can't complain and be like, oh, I worked so hard on this
Playtime.
show. It is. It's like, you know, the writers do a great job at writing the script, and you know, everybody has their own certain job, and my job's essentially to have fun.
It's the greatest thing about a show like this is it's kind of an evolution. It grows with you, and you grow with it, you know? So I think, and then also, you know, we're all able to kind of go do other projects and have some time off during the summer and then have a real home base here. And I'd do it forever if it were possible.
Yeah, I'm pretty psyched to hear that we're big in Canada. Thanks, guys. We appreciate it.
Let me just say, we know that we're much bigger in Canada than we are in America. You ask a question like, did we know we'd ever be this big? It's like, no, and we still don't.
It takes place in the 70s. I'm a huge Stones fan. I've always got
Your
sideburns and a little baby fro, which you do as well. I ended up getting the job, and I didn't
Working
know.
with me.
Yeah, and she was as hot as she was. You know, come on, this one.
14.
14, she was even hotter. But I'm not allowed to say that.
And have you guys learned a lot from this acting job? I mean, has it taught you a lot about acting, Hollywood,
No.
the whole thing?
It taught me how to
For
be
me,
friends
none.
with someone like that.
Yeah. Little.
That you guys really are a famous cast. I mean, famous actors.
Ah, Danny!
Dude, we're totally famous.
Dude, high five. Ooh.